I'm standing next to the new Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive. The 250 and all-wheel drive part mean that for the first time in 7 generations of ES, you can get one with a 4-cylinder engine as well as all-wheel drive. Does the addition of a more fuel-efficient powertrain plus all-weather capability make the ES more competitive, perhaps even the best value in its segment? Let's find out. Lexus has been selling the ES as long as there's been Lexus. This is actually the second ever Lexus model, which came right on the heels of the groundbreaking LS400. However, it's long been easy to dismiss the ES as just a rebadged Camry because for 6 generations, that's what it was. Now, however, this car's platform mate is the larger and frankly much better Toyota Avalon. What cars does the ES compete with? Things like the Volvo S90, the Genesis G80, and to a lesser extent, entry-level Mercedes E-Class or BMW 5 Series, because it's approximately the same size, though it is priced much more like a 3 Series or a C-Class. Who's the target customer for the ES250 all-wheel drive? For one, someone who lives in the snow belt. For two, it's for the luxury customer that values space over performance. As far as design goes, like it or don't like it, this giant Predator-style grille is here to stay. I will say on the ES, this is probably the most restrained looking giant grille of all the cars they make. Maybe the LX is up there, but my problem with it, aside from I don't quite get it, is this. So it's just crazy looking, right? And then you look at the rest of the car, and it just reads like a perfectly normal car. There's nothing crazy about this design language. All the madness is here. If you go to the back of the car, you know, the taillights have a little bit of whatever's going on up front, but then it's just sort of a normal looking rear. That said, I'm solidly middle-aged, right? I'm more towards the end of my life than the beginning. All the people I talk to that are under the age of, say, 30, they tend to like the way these grills look. They think it's super cool, so what do I know? I'm sitting inside of the Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive, and my first impression is space. This is a huge cabin. It's sort of like the old American notion of luxury, right? Like, don't bother making the Cadillac any better, just make it 2 feet longer. So huge amount of space in here. The second thing you feel is comfort. It's a very comfortable cabin. Soft leather, nice seats. 2 gripes about the ES. One is I mentioned that it's a platform mate of the Toyota Avalon. As such, there's a bit too much Toyota in here. I'll give you a quick example. This piece of rubber that runs across the dash, yes, it's soft, but I don't want rubber in my Lexus. I want leather, metal, wood, that kind of stuff. The second are the controls. Now, some of the controls, they don't bother me. For instance, you have these little bull horns right here. This one's for traction control, this one's for the various modes. But here's the real gripe. It's actually their trackpad. To be polite, it doesn't work very well. It makes a very chintzy noise. The thing is, it doesn't break. Now, Toyota has this real fetish when it comes to reliability. That's one of their brand values. So Toyota and Lexus, they're very slow to change things. Still, the big 2 takeaways from the inside of the ES250 all-wheel drive, it's very spacious and it's very comfortable. Let's talk performance. But before we do, I gotta point something out. Lexus is doing something very novel with the ES range. For the exact same money, you could have an ES350 that has a 302 horsepower V6, but is front-wheel drive only, or you can get the all-wheel drive 250, but it only makes 203 horsepower. It does have 25 miles per gallon city, 34 on the highway, and that last number is pretty good for a car this size. In terms of safety, the ES250 all-wheel drive is about as safe a car as you can buy. The government gives it a 5-star crash rating, and the Insurance Institute says it's a top safety pick plus, and it has a bunch of standard active safety features, as any good luxury car should. How much does it cost? Well, the car next to me, which is the least expensive ES250 you can buy, is just under $41,000. Should you check every single option box, you can get the ultra luxury version, which is a smidge under 50 grand. The cars it competes with, the Volvo S90, the Genesis G80, they're around $52,000 to start. So $41,000 is something of a bargain, especially when you factor in the all-wheel drive, and that's the cheapest all-wheel drive car in its segment. This is why the Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive might just be the best value in its segment. For more on cars we love and the latest rankings, check out motortrend.com/cars.